I'm Diane in Hong Kong, and you're watching ViuTV News. Coming up on tonight's show. 12 arrested in connection with Saturday's terror attack in the UK, which left at least 7 dead and dozens injured.
Well, they ran in and they were stabbing everyone. I was going to people, run, I was throwing bottles at them.
Eyewitness describe horrific scenes at the London Bridge. Meanwhile, Hong Kong marks the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square crackdown, even as a growing number of people boycott commemorations. British police have arrested 12 people in connection with last night's deadly London Bridge attack. Prime Minister Theresa May has called for unity as the country reels from yet another attack less than 2 weeks after the Manchester bombing. The arrested includes 4 women who are seen being escorted to a police van after officers raided a block of flats in Barking in East London. In a statement, the police said searches of a number of addresses in Barking are continuing. For more on the latest developments, let's hear from London correspondent Adam Reid, who's covering the story at the scene.
Well, as you can see, London Bridge still very much closed behind me. Forensic teams have been working throughout the day so far, piecing together anything that they can muster to try and make sense of the events of last night when a van, potentially travelling at speeds of up to 50 miles an hour, sped across the bridge and ploughed into dozens of people just enjoying themselves on a Saturday night. Police cars moving throughout the city of London all morning now. 7 people at the moment, unfortunately, lost their lives in the attack. Dozens more injured. Theresa May, the British Prime Minister, made a statement this morning after chairing her latest Cobra committee meeting, saying enough is enough. No evidence yet of the UK threat level being raised again to critical, but she has said that the review of counter-terrorism measures will come into force, and saying that there is no safe place anymore for any terrorists wishing to cause ill will on this country. Well, the general election campaign, most major parties have suspended campaigning for today at least, saying that they will resume tomorrow, but there are some that will carry on regardless to that end. No evidence yet that the One Love Manchester concert is going to be cancelled either. That's, of course, paying tribute to the 22 victims of the MEN attack less than 2 weeks ago. That's supposedly still going ahead, but as you can tell, there's much activity going on here in the City of London, trying to make sense of these latest terrible events from last night, the 3rd attack on UK soil in 3 months.
Now, the attack left at least 10 people dead, including the 3 attackers who ploughed a van into a crowd on London Bridge and stabbed people in nearby Borough Market. Dozens are injured, some critically. Here's how the events unfolded last night. The moment of horror captured by a bargoer whose weekend night out turned into a nightmare. Yet another attack in the British capital, this time at the London Bridge. Video taken from the dashboard of a car driving down the bridge shows scenes of panic as people run past and cars ahead start to U-turn away. Police said they were called out to reports of a van ploughing through passers-by there just after 10 p.m. local time. Shortly after that, reports of stabbings in nearby Borough Market.
Armed response officers then responded very quickly and bravely and confronted the 3 male suspects who were shot and killed in Borough Market.
Police say the attackers wore what looked like explosive vests, which were apparently fake. Dozens of people caught in the attack in the area were later escorted through a police cordon. Some witnesses described what they saw.
They started running up the road. I started going, everybody run, the terrorists run, and they're stabbing everyone. So I followed them, went down towards the NatWest Bank, towards Borough Market. They were running in all the pubs, all the bars. Well, they run in and they were stabbing everyone. I was going to people, run, I was throwing bottles at them, pint glasses, stools, chairs. I tried to help as many people as I could, but at the end of the day, I was defenceless, mate. If I had fell over, they'd probably killed me.
Oh, they don't care. Just stand up there. The police was in front and they was stand up. Just do it. Just do it.
Surrendered. They submitted.
No.
They fought the police.
Yeah.
The Metropolitan Police Commissioner today thanked emergency responders and members of the public for pulling together.
It's clear to me that the courage of those people during and following the attack was extraordinary, and I pay tribute to all of them who came to the aid of those in need during this dreadful attack, and I am sure helped to save lives.
The area remained cordoned off today, with train stations closed as well. Forensic investigators have been scouring for clues on the bridge where buses and taxis stood abandoned. Now, world leaders have sent messages of solidarity as further details of the London attack continue to come in. French President Emmanuel Macron was among the first. In a statement, he said France was more than ever on the side of Britain. 4 French citizens were among the injured. Now, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his Australian counterpart Malcolm Turnbull also tweeted their condolences and support for the UK. Donald Trump, though, was among the first to react to the incident in the immediate aftermath of the attack. The US president tweeted about his planned travel ban, drawing scorn on social media. Now, without explicitly referring to the London attack, Trump said, quote, "We need to be smart, vigilant and tough. We need the courts to give us back our rights. We need the travel ban as an extra level of safety." In another tweet minutes later, he added, quote, "Whatever the United States can do to help out in London and the UK, we will be there. We are with you. God bless." Meanwhile, thousands have taken part in anti-Trump protests across the United States. Hundreds of people gathered in Washington for the March for Truth outside the White House. They demanded a transparent investigation into alleged ties between President and Russia. But there was also a show of support for him there, with protesters telling Trump to make America white again. Demonstrations against his policies were also held in several other cities, including New York and New Orleans. Hundreds of football fans in Turin were injured in a stampede after loud bangs were heard in one of the city's squares. Around 1,400 people were being treated for injuries, according to Italian media reports. 7 of those were serious, including a 7-year-old boy. Thousands of people were watching the Champions League final on a temporary screen. It's been suggested that a noise sounding like a firecracker may have been mistaken for a bomb, which could have caused the panic. To some local news now. Hong Kong tonight hosted the June 4th vigil to commemorate the Tiananmen Square crackdown in 1989. However, the number of people attending seems to have gone down. Britt Clennett tells us more from Victoria Park.
Well, I'm here at Hong Kong's Victoria Park, where a sea of candles are lighting up the area in memory of the 1989 crackdown on student-led protests in Beijing 28 years ago. Well, there's definitely a sense of solemnness, but also one of unity and togetherness as people are singing songs and making passionate speeches. That's, of course, in contrast to the division between the older generation of Democrats, these guys who still feel a deep connection to those events back in 1989, and the younger ones who say that Hong Kongers should focus on Hong Kong issues alone. Well, the people I've spoken to have said that this is really a display of democracy and freedom of speech, and that Hong Kongers should take advantage of that. Of course, this is the only vigil of its kind on Chinese soil, and these people say that that's a very special thing, and that they should be proud of that. But turnout numbers aren't what I've seen before. The numbers may be dwindling, but it's really clear that this group of people, that there is a core group of people who are intent on keeping the memory of Tiananmen alive and well in this city.
Now, earlier, our reporter Candice Leung spoke to some of the young people who are boycotting the annual event and asked why they're doing so.
The Pillar of Shame at Hong Kong University. It symbolizes those who died in the June 4th crackdown of 1989. Each year, students like Wang Cheng-tak wipe it clean with a cloth. It's a way of paying tribute to the victims of a dark day in China's history. But Wang isn't taking part in the bigger tradition marking the occasion, the annual vigil at Victoria Park.
From the perspective as a Hong Kong people, I do believe that we should not prioritize so-called building a democratic China.
Since 2014, numbers attending the June 4th vigil have shrunk dramatically. Following the umbrella protest, student leaders pledged to abandon the vigil altogether.
The umbrella revolution saw the rise of localism, and with localism, people start to focus more on Hong Kong, and we want to consolidate our sense of identity as Hong Kong people.
Student unions at least 8 universities have refused to attend the vigil this year. And unlike last year, there wasn't even any hot debate about the matter. Some of the schools did, however, hold seminars to talk about how the commemoration is related to the city's political situation. Organizers of the event are worried about shrinking numbers to bridge the generation gap. They've included the story of the umbrella protest in the June 4th Museum, temporarily housed here in Shakib May. Last week, they also held a rally to drum up support.
How can we say that democracy in China have nothing to do with us? If there are democracy in China, then, in Hong Kong, it's far more easier to have democracy.
But many young people say they are disillusioned by a lack of democratic progress and now find little meaning in commemorating June 4th. Kenneth Leung, ViuTV News.
All right, when we come back, we'll be taking a look at a contraption that could change 71% of the world. Stay with us.